What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We are going to do some RLCS predictions. It's finally back. Week number 1. Lots of big games to go over. I'm not going to get too in-depth here with like stats and all that stuff. I'm just going to, just go with what I think is going to happen. I'm recording this on Monday night, super late, 1:45 a.m., but assuming nothing changes. This will be out Thursday, so if for some reason some weird roster move happens, and I don't say why it happened, well, that's because I'm doing this today. But I doubt that'll happen. Let's get into it. This should be a lot of fun. Starting off the entire RLCS, we got NRG versus Out of Style. And this could potentially be the greatest debut ever for a player coming into the RLCS. I wouldn't really count Season 1, I guess, necessarily. Obviously, we didn't watch every single game there. Season number 2, you can start counting it. That's when you start seeing some new players debuting in. But I assume in this, Justin is going to go ham. Out of Style has seemed defunct for a really long time. And it doesn't help that even before they were defunct, you would still put them in the lower skill range. And that's what I'm worried about mostly, is with Out of Style is I feel like they could take a series here or there if they didn't seem so defunct. I'm not sure like if they're playing together or not right now all that much. But obviously things didn't go well in the offseason for them. Obviously Justin left to join NRG and they picked up Hato. So we'll see how that plays out. Hato was obviously dropped from the Amphibian, now Dignitas roster. So you get the third best player potentially from Dignitas, who didn't even make the RLCS. Actually lost because of Out of Style, partially. That seems a little rough for Out of Style. Seems like they're definitely going to be an uphill battle throughout the season. Energy is looking extremely strong. This is like probably the perfect game for them to get Justin involved in. You play the worst team that people are saying. So I think Energy should easily win this game. I have high hopes for Energy throughout the season. I expect them to be going relatively far, probably. We'll see how Justin does. It's gonna be an interesting season. So I'm gonna give Energy here the win 3-0. I just don't think Out of Style can hang, but who knows? Maybe Out of Style will surprise. But I assume this might be one of the greatest debuts by a player ever because Justin can just go ham on Out of Style potentially. We'll see how it goes. Next series is Momentum. Excuse me for my voice a little bit. Momentum versus Equinox. And looks like Momentum might be signing on to a squad that'll probably be announced before Thursday. But we'll call Momentum here so I don't get in trouble just in case. So Momentum versus Equinox. Now this is a very interesting game. I feel like both these teams have a lot to prove. Momentum, I feel like there's a lot of hype around them and I'm not sure why. They didn't look good at all last season. They came in last in league play. They did finally show up at the promotion tournament. Dapper finally showed up at the promotion tournament, but Moses was not a great third, it seemed like, for them. He's gone. Timmy was the only one really doing anything. Dapper, honestly, it was one of the worst seasons you could have from a player. Like from season 3 to season 4, it was just like, oh, it was rough. But they bring back Miho in. I'm still not sure how much he's playing all that much right now, just because he was a sub. He's coming back. It's hard to come back relatively, but we'll see. I think Miho is that big question mark. If he's playing really well, they have a chance to make some noise here. I am not positive if that's going to happen or not yet. So Momentum, actually I'm going to put this out Friday so I don't spoil my rankings. I'll put those Thursday. I'm going to swap those two around, so we'll put it out Friday, my predictions. That should make a lot more sense, so I can talk a little bit more about where I predict they're going to go throughout this. But Momentum I have is one of the bottom of the teams. I feel like there is a lot of hype around this team. I think people think because it's the old Selfless roster going into Season 3 that made the World Championship that they could do it again, but I just don't know how much Miho is playing. Dapper seems to be on the downhill. We'll see if Timmy can keep up what he's been doing. I assume Dapper will definitely play better this season, but I don't know if it'll be enough. So I'm going to go here. Equinox. Let's talk about them a little bit here. They almost had Jacob, then they didn't have Jacob. Chrome, Corrupted G, and Classics. And Classics had a great season last season. I think a lot of people are downplaying how good he played last season. He was the main reason why Ghost did so well. I still think it's a downgrade from Jacob. It's definitely an upgrade from Sad Jr., though. And they were right in the mix. They had a chance, at least. They were in the 6th spot to qualify for the World Championship. So they are a slightly better team. I think they'll win this game. Momentum's more the question mark for me. I feel like I know what I'm going to probably get out of Equinox. They're going to be probably battling Rogue, I would say, for the 5th, 6th spot, probably. But it depends what Classics we see as well. Like, if Classics can disrupt a lot on the offensive side and give Corrupted G a lot more balls that just kind of spill out to him, this could get pretty good for them. Chrome probably going to be mixing it in as well with some demos. Classics really likes to demo as well, so these guys are going to want to cause some chaos. I expect against Momentum they won't cause as much chaos because they might feel like they're the better team. But we'll see. It's kind of similar to what Incognito did that we saw in the Rival Series cast. When they were playing against a team that they thought was better than them, they tried to cause a lot of chaos. When they played a team that they thought was worse than them, they decided to not go for it. We'll see if that trend continues here. But I'm going to give 1 game to Momentum. We'll go 3 for Equinox. Next up, NRG once again versus Ghost Gaming. This is a tough one for Ghost. I think they get the benefit of the schedule later on today, but today, as your first game, you have to play against a team that's already played, already warmed up. They got probably a nice confidence boost against Out of Style. But Ghost Gaming, they didn't look great at DreamHack with Lethamyr, Matt, and Zane Jackie. I think they still have to find how they're playing. At least at DreamHack, they basically just didn't let Zane Jackie do anything. That was the plan. That's the game plan. Just like Lethamyr and Matt are going to do most of the work. Zane Jackie just come in once in a while to get those quality touches. The problem is, it's hard to get quality touches when you're barely touching the ball throughout a game. It's hard to be warmed up for that. So I'm a little worried about Zane Jackie just a bit. And obviously Ghost, I think a lot of people, again, are saying there's a big 3. There's Energy, G2, and Cloud9. And Ghost is that team on the outside looking in. At least a lot of people have Ghost probably in the 4th seed. But Ghost is probably going to try and make some waves once again throughout league play. They did it last time, taking out Cloud9 early on. I think it was Cloud. No, it was Energy early on that they took out. But did they beat Cloud9 too? I can't remember off the top of my head. We'll figure that out by Saturday. But Energy, I think will win this. I think it's a great confidence boost to come into this match with that win. I think Justin will continue to play a very strong game. And, of course, there's still Garrett G and Fireburner, 2 of the best players in the world, just super solid, super consistent. I expect them to do some big things here. I think it'll be a 1-3 as well. I don't know if Ghost is ready yet. I think week 1 Ghost might be iffy, but it's a big week for Ghost. Ghost has Energy and Cloud9. If they can start off 1-1, no matter who they beat, that's a huge week for them. That's really good, and that puts them right in the running for a top 2 spot. So we'll see if they can pull it off. If they start 0-2, then it's like, well, crap. Maybe top 2 is out of the picture now already at week 1, and they're going to have to battle in the 3 through 6 area. Unless they win out. But, moving on. We'll go to Out of Style and Equinox. We talked about these guys before. I think Out of Style, just a little bit rougher. But this is one of those games where if they want to make top 6 and not be in the relegation, like, that's probably what they're fighting for, is to just make playoffs. While other teams are probably trying for a top 2. I think this is one of those games that Out of Style has to win in order to do that. It's going to be the teams like Equinox, maybe a Rogue, maybe the Momentum side of things is where they need to pick up at least 2 wins out of those 3 teams. I don't think they're going to beat anyone higher than them besides those, so this is one of the ones they have to win. Equinox, on the other hand, if they beat Momentum, they're looking really good. If they lost to Momentum, then their momentum might be hurting. You know what I'm saying here? So, we'll see. I think Out of Style wants Momentum to beat Equinox, so they're a little bit down on themselves. I think that would help a lot. But I think if Equinox wins, I think Out of Style has no chance. And I will give it a 1-3. But if Equinox loses it versus Momentum, this could be a very tight series. This is one of those that I think could go the distance, could go to 5, and Out of Style could steal this series. But that's only if Equinox loses to Momentum. If they beat Momentum, I think they would be pretty confident going into this match. So that's where I see it. Next up, Cloud9 versus Ghost Gaming. Last time we saw Cloud9 come in playing a team that already played a game that day, it was the World Championship, and they lost to PSG Esports on day number 1. It didn't go well for them. This is a little different. Obviously, there's a lot more nerves going on. It's a live event. So I'm not too worried about them in an online atmosphere. I think Cloud9 is probably still the team that everyone is trying to beat. 3 extremely talented players that can do basically anything on the field. And usually during the online portions, I love Gimmick during the online portions. I haven't liked Gimmick as much at live events. But if he continues his great online performance, I think these guys are going to do some crazy things. And Ghost is a very big game for them if they lost to Energy. If they want any chance at the top 2, it probably comes down to this week. So I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think Cloud9's going to come out with a statement game here. I'm going to go 3-0. I think Ghost is good enough to win some games here, but I think Cloud9's going to come out with a statement. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. So I got a 3-0 for Cloud9 over Ghost game. And let's move over to Europe. So this will be on Sunday. Sunday. Europe Day. Happy Europe Day, as Shogun would say. So PSG versus Excel. There's going to be a trend throughout the season, most likely, of whoever plays Excel is going to beat them and beat them easily. Excel has not looked good in community tournaments. They're losing to much lower teams than them, and they just haven't figured it out. Markey supposedly has that drive back again. He wants to be up there. He wants to play really well, but I just don't see it from them. Niels Cook, I've heard from some people that he's kind of been one that doesn't practice a lot either, but I'm not sure. I assume this season they are trying to get it down, and then Pondex as well. I just think the talent isn't there. Niels Cook at times can carry this team, that's for sure. They didn't show it in Gfinity Elite Series, though, after the RLCS. They were really struggling there. It seems like maybe they overperformed in RLCS season number 4. So I am going to give this to PSG relatively easily. This should be an easy one for them. I thought PSG played Envy first. I could have sworn, but maybe I'm wrong. I guess I am wrong. So PSG versus Excel. I'm going to give this a 3-0. This should be pretty simple for them. Next up, Flipside Complexity. I think this one can be very interesting. Complexity is a weird one to me. Complexity is a team that they've had one really good result. And obviously League Play. They came in first. We'll just say for an event sake. Season 4 of RLCS, that's the best result Complexity has. They don't have any other good results for the most part. E-League, they came in last in their group. We had, I think Gnarly, I don't think they did all that well. I can't remember exactly what they did, but they didn't do all that well. And then what else was it? That was DreamHack, obviously. They didn't even make it to day number 3. They lost on day number 2 to Flipside Tactics with Jesse. And you can go back like even further. They didn't even make it top 8 DreamHack Summer if you want to go that far back. They've had not the greatest results, but they did come in second at the World Championships. They did win League Play in the number 1 seed and then got number 2 overall for Europe. So they know how to play, I guess, in the RLCS, at least in season number 4. We'll see if they can back that up again, but I think Flipside's going to come out on top here. We'll give it a 3-2. Flipside, Yukio, it's his first game, so this is why Complexity is probably like, you want to play Flipside in their very first game of the RLCS. You want to face Yukio before he gets comfortable, and Yukio could be nervous. It's, you know, a very big matchup. I think Flipside would much rather have that Excel matchup first to get warmed up into it, but they don't. They have to face Complexity. I still think Yukio will perform, though, but there is a chance that nerves will come into play. And Cooksy or Mystic, 2 extremely good players, along with all of the Complexity squad as well. So, should be a very fun game. I can see that one going either way, but I'll go 3-2 Flipside. Next up, PSG versus Envy. PSG, they were 6-0 to start League Play last season. Envy, they were out of the playoffs. They just smacked PSG when they played them at the very end of the season. Envy played extremely well there. That was the one time we already saw, oh, these are the world champions that we've been waiting to see. Problem was it was a little bit too late. Envy obviously has struggled since then. They did beat Gale Force twice right before DreamHack. In the same week, they beat them twice, but then they fell super short on day number 1 to London Esports. So they made a roster move. They pick up iGnite for Greasy Meister. Even with all the Twitter drama, they still pick them up. And Envy's looking to make some moves here. Like, I think iGnite's a good player. Like, I think me and Shogun told about this. He's like a 3rd generation player. Like, he's going to be hungry. This is his first RLCS. He wants to make a great debut. He's probably picking up that work ethic for Envy. Like, hey, guys, come on. Let's practice a lot. Let's get ready. He probably brings a new energy to the team while everyone else is just kind of getting bored, you know? They're like, I've been here forever. Like, Greasy's been there forever. It gets boring maybe at times. Who knows? So, I think Envy could do this. I think this could be one of those upsets for the day. PSG, like, I think, is a more talented team. Obviously, they win DreamHack. They've been playing really, really well. But Europe is always full of upsets. I'm going to go upset here. I'm going to go Envy. Why not? Let's have some fun. Day number 1. We need some upsets here. We're going to go 1-3. Next up, flip side versus Excel. Cooks here versus Markey. Two of the most prolific RLCS talents we have ever had. They lead, I think, goals and assists. They're number 1 and number 2 in both of totals for the RLCS over the past 4 seasons. They're absolutely insane. But they're no longer teammates, so this should be a fun one to watch. Markey trying to get some goals on Cooks. Cooks doing some plays on Markey. Should be a good time to watch. Excel, unfortunately, is just not up to snuff lately. So they're going to struggle this season, I believe. And Flipside should easily win this one. Even if they lose to Complexity earlier, I think that will just make them hungrier for this one. Then it's like, this is a must-win either way, because I feel like everyone wants to beat Excel to keep pace with the 7 other European teams. This is going to be a really, really tough schedule for everyone going forward. So I'm going to give this to Flipside. We'll give it 3-1. I think Markey was scoring an overtime goal over Cooks, because why not? To get them their 1 win. And then finally, we have Reno. I think it's Reno. No, Reno. I think it's Reno. Yeah. Reno Vitality. Always pronounce it wrong. I don't know. Sorry, Greg. Anyway, Renault Vitality, Renault Sport Team Vitality, if you want to go with their full name, versus Complexity Gaming. Complexity might start 0-2 here. Complexity, again, very tough schedule. Like, they're the ones that have the toughest schedule today. I feel like they're the only team that plays twice that does not play Excel. That's a very difficult schedule. That's the only team in Europe I feel like is more or less a guaranteed victory. So Complexity, a very tough schedule. They have to be on point. And if they do get the 2-0, that is huge for them going forward. But Renault Vitality is one of those teams I think is going to emerge this season. I think the main question mark is Freaky. How will Freaky play for this squad? He's definitely the weak link generally on their team, but he does show up at times, and I think he can show up here. So Fairy Peak, way too good. Pashy been playing really well as well. I'm going to go Vitality here. This is a tough game because Complexity will have a game before that, but at least they're playing a match 2. It's like a pretty long break. That kind of helps. I think the other way around, it was like, no, Ghost, yeah, see, Ghost only has a 1-game break and then they're back on, so that's going to hurt Cloud9 a little bit more, in my opinion. I think that does matter slightly. It's not a ton, but I think it does matter. We're going to go Vitality here. We're going to go 3-2. Why not? Let's go 3-2. We'll have Complexity lose 2 Game 5s on day number 1, which will put them at 0-2. But these are my predictions, guys, for this weekend. I believe this will come out Friday, probably somewhere between the Rival Series stuff. Whenever you get a chance to watch it, feel free to watch it. But there you have it. RLCS predictions. I'm so excited for the season to finally begin. It's been a long off season. It should be a lot of fun to watch. And this is the first week. We got 4 more weeks after this. And if you can start 2-0, it's a very good start. Again, guys, top 2 teams from the league play automatically into the World Championship. We just don't know what seed they're going to be, but they're automatically in. And then seeds 3 through 6 will play in that quarterfinal matchup, 1 best-of-7 to determine it. So you don't want to be there. And then 7 and 8 will go down to the relegation promotion tournament. So there you have it. We'll see. I'll probably do this every week if I can, if I find time. So these are my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments below and tell me why I am wrong. I always am. That's how it works. And especially tell me when I'm wrong on Monday. So you can be like, wow, Gibbs, that energy pick. You said they're going to go 2-0. They're 0-2. Like, come on, man. You're terrible. That's when I always want it, because that's when I know that you guys are so good at predicting on Mondays. That's when I want it. Anyway, that'll do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you on Saturday. Later.